Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. Very weird news today, but without further ado, let's jump right into it. Last week, Facebook launched the website of its long-awaited foray into blockchain technology while also releasing the white paper for its cryptocurrency known as Libra. The social network also announced the names of the giant companies who will run the first confirmed 23 nodes out of a total 100. The list includes corporations such as Visa, Uber, eBay, Vodafone, and of course, Facebook itself. Crypto Potato had the chance to interview Binance's chief strategy officer, Jin Chao, during a FinTech Junction conference in Tel Aviv. Chao is a former corporate development executive for both the NBA and Dell. Okay. During our wide range interview, the full version of which is not yet released, the CSO confirmed that the world's leading cryptocurrency exchange is definitely considering becoming a validator node for the Libra. Chao also shared the exchange's vision for Libra and when asked whether or not Binance was considering becoming a node on Libra, he said, "We're definitely considering it, and so we would like to throw our hat in the ring. Whether or not we will become one, we'll see." That kind of bothers me a little bit. First of all, if you want to become a node or a full node on the Bitcoin network or many other decentralized cryptocurrencies, you can do so at will. That is a little troubling that you have to pretty much ask Facebook for permission and hand them, I think it's $10 million to be able to have the chance to do so. It's a little odd. Yeah. Chao also conveyed his overall opinion on the impact of Libra's announcement on the entire cryptocurrency ecosystem. I assume that's him right there. Yep, that's him. He said it's a good thing for sure. Anytime a company with the weight, size, resources, and impact of Facebook gets involved, it validated both blockchain and then, in this particular case, cryptocurrencies specifically. So whether or not Libra becomes incredibly successful, it's already a good thing. He also noted that Facebook is taking a rather global approach to its cryptocurrency. He said it's a good thing that is taking a global perspective. There's going to be the US dollar and a basket of other currencies, so I think that they have that part philosophically correct as far as stable coins go. Yeah, so I don't even know how to even particularly phrase this. I think it's very weird. First of all, it's not Changpeng Zhao doing it. There are other people in the cryptocurrency space, or rather the Binance space, who are not Changpeng Zhao, obviously, as there's only one. Anyway, I want to know their motives behind it. I assume the motive is money. But like, I want to know exactly how much further this actually goes. Anyway, so yeah, we have confirmation from the CSO of Binance that apparently they're going to be trying to run a full node from the Libra cryptocurrency. And this also ties directly into the news that we had right after this. Shapeshift could be integrating Facebook's Libra in the near future. This was said by Eric Voorhees. The Shapeshift CEO commented on Facebook's cryptocurrency project from a personal perspective at the Bitcoin 2019 event, declaring that even though Libra doesn't exist yet, there's a space for it in his platform. He said it's too early because it doesn't exist yet, but I would love to integrate Libra into Shapeshift when it does exist. Pay attention to exactly how his words form. They get very interesting as it goes further. The cryptocurrency and blockchain entrepreneur explained that his interest in Libra depended on how well the project would work. He said the really interesting thing about Libra is what rules are based on it. Voorhees also had a few concerns, pointing out what is presented in Libra's white paper could change when the project actually launches. He says, so fundamentally is based on a relatively decentralized worldview, but that could be very different when it actually launches versus what's been reported. Little side note on that. So if you read through the Facebook Libra white paper, it says and states that their main goal is a decentralized form of payment. Part of the issue with that is that if you've been using Facebook, if you've watched the news, if you heard anything about Mark Zuckerberg or anything from the Facebook crew over the last 2 or 3 years, they've been embroiled in controversial subjects, news things, because they've been taking people's data, not really telling them. They've been using it in highly inappropriate ways. They've been siphoning pretty much any information that they wanted to do. Anyone who touched their website database. They've been taking your info, and part of the issue is I mean, it's a huge issue. You shouldn't be doing that unless, if you're planning on doing it, at least explicitly tell people and or pay them in some sort of way. Let them know, hey, this is being taken from you, this, and this. Would you allow us to have this? Fine, we can give you some money as well. This is why people also think, speculation, why they could be developing a cryptocurrency such as the Libra as a way to do this, because there have been other cryptocurrency projects that have launched or planning on launching, and they plan on pretty much taking and using your data, because this is how companies make money. They want to be able to target certain ads towards you, but they'll let you know, hey, we're taking this from you. We saw you like this. We saw you so and so and so. We have this data from you. Is it okay if we take it? And if we do take it, can we pay you every single month that we're taking your data? So I would not be shocked if Facebook in some sort of way was also going to incorporate something like this, as they have been taken to trial or have had to stand before Parliament in many countries, Congress, the Senate, everyone, to explain to them exactly how far their data tracking is going. So I assume that this foray into cryptocurrencies is not only, it's a very big thing, to become one of the, or rather the largest central bank in the entire world, but also to be able to say, hey, now we're more friendly. You know, we let people know when we're taking their data and we pay them out in Libra. The other part is that they are trying to tout themselves as an incredibly large decentralized platform, which I do not think that they're going to be. We don't know the true extent of exactly who is going to be running each node or how many nodes a person can buy. As of right now, it appears that, or rather, when you read it in the news, it says that so-and-so is a node operator, as in this company. I highly doubt that a company as large as Visa or Uber or anybody else is going to simply say, okay, that's fine. We're okay with just one node. I'm pretty sure you have one company who's trying to run at least 33 nodes, if not someone who has come forward saying, how do we gain control of 51 of the nodes? Because everyone wants to have control. And this is why it's very difficult for major companies to kind of accept the fact that we are moving into a more decentralized world. Anyway, that goes to that entire decentralized worldview and why he says it could be very different when it actually launches. Because it's in my view, highly unlikely. This is why we've seen such pushback from governments and stuff like that before. Because, or rather, with the normal cryptocurrency space, not even talking about Libra, because they can't put in their minds or envision a world where they don't have control. We've lived the last several thousand years where there's always a centralized point of everything. This is why when kings topple and when governments topple, everything kind of falls apart, because there's only one central place. So they can't understand a world where things might be better, where there are 1,000 different points of failure as opposed to just one specific one that could be overrun. So keep paying attention to exactly what Mr. Voorhees is saying about the future of Libra. He also assessed the control of Libra could give to users from a technical standpoint. He said, we will see how freely it can move. For example, does someone need permission to integrate it into something? End quote. I'm pretty sure it does. Libra can also serve as a way to usher in broader Bitcoin adoption. The entrepreneur explained that Libra's value could surpass the dollars, making it a more attractive form of payment. He said, I'm very excited that Libra isn't just on a one-to-one parity with the dollar. Or he's also said that the Libra could make Facebook users more open to digital currencies. For those who do not know, unlike many other stablecoins out there, the Libra coin is not going to be pegged one-to-one with the US dollar. And this gets very interesting because what they're doing is that apparently it's a whole basket of things. They've taken bonds, mutual funds, other assets from other countries, from other places that are not exclusively the United States. We don't know the exact, rather, I do not know the exact number. It might have been stated inside of the white paper. But the fact that it is not pegged one-to-one with the US dollar was done on purpose, because it is widely believed, for those who do not know, not to scare anyone, but it's just how things work, that the US dollar is failing. A lot of countries around the world are trying to figure out how to get away from the US dollar, and it is widely believed within the next 10 to 20 years, depending on how big Bitcoin gets, and depending on how big other countries get, that the US dollar will not be the dominant currency within our world, within our lifetime, by maximum the next 20 years. So the fact that they have, people from Facebook have made Libra not a one-to-one parity with the US dollar is very interesting, because it shows that if the US dollar continues to drop in value, that they can simply acquire other assets to prop up the value of their Libra, and, you know, kind of making it I will say, a reserve currency in its own right. Voorhees also said that Libra could make Facebook users more open to digital currencies. He said one of the effects is that people, he said, especially Americans, will start to get more comfortable with a coin that is a little bit more powerful versus the dollar. On the other hand, the use of Libra is also a way for new users to get into Bitcoin and get used to price volatility. He said his price will vary, but nothing like Bitcoin's. People will realize that it's okay to have an asset that moves. And indeed, there isn't an asset in the world that doesn't move, end quote. He's sprinkling breadcrumbs that he's probably into Libra because it is I don't even want to say potential competitor. It is a competitor to the US dollar, and this is why we have seen over the last couple of weeks, week and a half, 2 weeks, somewhere around that time frame, multiple countries, but especially, I don't know if you've realized, the people inside the United States have been ringing their bell the loudest against the Libra cryptocurrency because they realized if it had been pegged exclusively one-to-one to the US dollar, this would have meant that the people from Facebook would have pretty much had to buy US dollars and or find investment in US dollars to be able to push up the price or the value or the total supply circulating of the Libra coin that they are trying to launch. But because they have not, this is a clear bell to the people in the United States, in the Federal Reserve, that Facebook is not explicitly attacking their coin, but it's being done in a certain way. And I called this out the moment they announced all of this. It's fairly certain that they're trying to become, or rather are going to become, a very large central bank in the world. Not everyone agrees. Not everything could go as planned. We have seen so much backlash that it could potentially have a situation where Facebook coin doesn't even launch at all. I think that is highly unlikely. I think they are probably already looking at a map, drawing in certain places where they're definitely going to launch, where money talks, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, there's a lot happening. It's a very weird, once again, time frame, space slot that we're living in the world right now. We are probably going to see, in no uncertain terms, not to say that I agree with this, but it's just kind of, if you've been paying attention to all the news that we've been getting over the last 2 years, 7 years plus, we are probably going to see the slow demise of the US dollar, as it is widely believed as Facebook coin could become popular. The people around the world will start to weigh things in the... Rather, I don't even think it said it inside of here, but I read it somewhere before that apparently Facebook already has a marketplace. And apparently when they launch the Libra, they're going to start denominating things in Libra exclusively on their platform. So if you can get 2 billion people who are already on your platform to start using Libra, and they start denominating things in Libra on your platform to be able to buy things, they'll start getting used to this idea of, oh, this only costs 3 Libra, this is 15.5 Libra, as opposed to saying, oh, this is $17, or this is so, like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, they're going to start to have people psychologically become trained to get used to the Libra value of something as opposed to anything else, especially if, when we start seeing, we're going to start seeing this as well. Like, we can already see the price metrics of Bitcoin and other even stable coins in accordance with the US dollar. What happens when we start seeing that the US dollar is falling in value in comparison to the assets that are backing the Libra coin? Because I'm pretty certain, rather, first of all, yeah, the US dollar isn't really backed by anything. It's just kind of printed at will. And this isn't even speculation. Like, you can watch 38,000 million documentaries on this. You can watch something on quantitative easing. You'll see exactly how this is a big problem for the US dollar in the future. And if they start, this is why we had situations also as well last year when we heard people talking about releasing securities or other cryptocurrencies that were going to be backed by like New York real estate in Paris, real estate in not Monaco, what's the other one? In the Hamptons and stuff like that. They're doing it because these assets rise in value every single year, while the US dollar does not. I think it's lost 99% of its value since we were taken off the gold standard. So there's a lot of stuff to kind of unpack here. Valuing or having anything else that's valued by real assets, the Libra, as opposed to nothing like the US dollar. They're doing this on purpose to become a contender to the US dollar. Exactly how far this is going to go, I doubt that they're going to get shut down. It's more so they may not be able to have access to a lot of the countries that they wanted to in the first place. But once again, this also ties directly into the very next story. Here we go. Charles Hoskinson, who is the founder of Cardano, claimed that emerging markets are where cryptocurrencies matter and that Facebook's announced virtual currency known as the Libra is not going to find success in the area. This was reported by finance magnates on the 26th of June. According to Hoskinson, emerging markets are the future. He said, emerging markets are where cryptocurrencies matter. When I look at the developed world, I don't care. It's highly regulated and, in many cases, a rigged system. If I decide to compete with a tech company, they can just push me out via regulation. Then I sit down with the Prime Minister of Georgia, and he says, we're open for business. We can rebuild parts of their education infrastructure, create a new payment system, or do medical record system. The keys to the kingdom are right there. That's 4 million people who in 10 or 20 years will be very high value users. For those who don't know, the head of Cardano, Charles Hoskinson, has been traveling around the world the last couple of, I want to say, weeks. I'm not exactly sure of the time length of his movements, but he was actually just in the country of Georgia and was talking with their monetary regulator system, and I also believe their prime minister as well. There are like photos of them shaking hands, and apparently they also signed an MOU, a memorandum of understanding, where apparently it appears no proper explicit information on this yet, but I mean, he kind of just spoiled the surprise that they're going to be working with him, and apparently Georgia probably is going to be using the Cardano network to rebuild their infrastructure. In contrast, Hoskinson predicted a struggle for Facebook in promoting Libra due to its lack of relationships, which he said need to be built over time based on tangible benefits specific to the emerging markets in question. In his words, he said, Facebook has to come into countries it doesn't know a lot about and convince them to enslave themselves. Convince them to enslave themselves to an economic monopoly and give nothing in return. And their only pitch is that you'll pay less on fees. I'm going there and saying we're going to rebuild all your systems so you have fraud-free land registration, better voting systems, and improved supply chains. We're already doing this stuff, but it took years. These are relationships-based markets, and Facebook doesn't have those relationships. So you see, not everyone is as bullish or as readily willing to be able to it's cloudy outside, to be able to accept the Facebook system. I won't lie, I'm a little shocked that Eric Voorhees, I wonder what the motives are. Eric Voorhees was a gigantic player in the beginning of the cryptocurrency space, in the beginning of the Bitcoin space. He was one of the permabulls, if you will, who kind of did not bow down to regulation. Something must have spooked him. Something happened to him where he not even bent the knee, he bent both knees, because he became very open to regulations at the drop of a dime. If you look at his older stuff, he was anti-regulation, anti-everything, but apparently he's down for it now. He's also apparently, I mean, he says that he is going to support it, but I wonder if he's trying to run nodes simply because he thinks that he can offer more decentralization than in general. The whole Binance thing as well. Love Binance. It is a little creepy though, and I wonder if they're simply trying to do this because I live in a very utopian space in my head where I think that people do things because it's nice or they're trying to like help out. That's foolish, and it's probably being done more so for money. It would be nice if we had more indications that they were doing this to try and make sure that the cryptocurrency from Facebook was more decentralized, and therefore they're trying to get cryptocurrency platforms into the space to be able to promote this decentralization, knowing that they are the key holders as opposed to other big gigantic companies. Still a little weird. So we'll see exactly how this goes out. It's basically, I want to say 60-40 at this point. 60% of people do believe that Facebook is going to create their crypto and that it's going to completely take over the world, while the other 40%, myself included, are not too open to the fact that they're going to end up being able to do this. This is why I mentioned before, while Cardano may not be my favorite coin, because I think I have like 2 or 3 that are kind of up there, I really appreciate and admire exactly what Charles Hoskinson is doing. He's traveling around the world, and this is what I said before. I think the companies that are going to survive in the cryptocurrency space are those that make sure to get those countries that have kind of been either looked down upon or that people really don't usually care about them. Like, not to say that Georgia isn't important, but we don't hear about it often. It's not always in the news when it comes to financial news. And the fact that Cardano, the people from Dash, and what was the other one, have been targeting people in South America and Africa and now in like Eastern Europe and stuff like that, it's very interesting to see exactly the communication that they're trying to have, the connections that they are making, and the fact that you can talk to the prime minister of an entire country. I don't know how long they were talking for, but he ends up talking about the new payment system, medical record system, rebuild their infrastructure and education infrastructure. This is huge. This is why I focus on larger coins or coins that are doing things as opposed to other coins. Anyway, we'll see exactly what the future holds for all of this. Obviously, we don't have a choice. Time moves forward. We will see in a couple of months. Here's the actual article right here from Finance Magnates. It's amazing. Charles Hoskinson in Mongolia with a, this isn't an eagle. I want to say a buzzard. I have no idea what this animal is, but there's a gigantic bird on his arm as he's dressed in a red garb with a hat on his head. Just amazing. Anyway, let's move on. Next up, this is a major topic of discussion as things have been going on. A pair of crypto analysts are warning traders about if and when the next altcoin season will come. Peter Brand, a trader who made a name for himself by calling the start of Bitcoin's 2008 bear market, says he believes many altcoins will never recover no matter how high Bitcoin goes. He equates the current crypto market to the aftermath of the dot-com bubble in the early 2000s, when many companies in the stock market never bounced back. He said many altcoins benefited from the last bull run in Bitcoin. Crypto maniacs expect alts to do so again. They may be very disappointed. The 2000 dot-com bubble is analog. Following 2001-2002 tech collapse, dot-coms with real value exploded. The alts dot-coms went bankrupt. For those who have no idea what that's talking about, the last couple of weeks we've seen a massive drive down in the Satoshi price of just about every single one, every other cryptocurrency out there, except for Bitcoin, as Bitcoin is the Satoshi value. And what's been happening is that we've seen the US dollar pumping for certain coins, but even not as much as we've typically seen before in the past, i.e., normally when Bitcoin goes up by 8, 9, 10, 11, 12%, altcoins are up by around 23, 24%, but it appears that a lot of people are selling off, with those already within the cryptocurrency space are selling off their altcoins, pushing them into Bitcoin, and the USD value of people pushing their money into the cryptocurrency space hasn't been as large because there isn't as much of a fervor or excitement around altcoins this time around. Once again, we will continue to pay attention to exactly which coins the largest makers in the market are going to be listing onto their platforms. These will be the most important coins until we end up getting some type of other shift in the market when other new things are announced and new things are going to be used, etc., what have you. But as of right now, this is why we focus on the largest coins, because while it appears, I put it to you this way. While Litecoin, Ether, XRP, EOS, Cardano, 6th coin, 7th coin have been going down in Satoshi value and also ticking slightly up in USD value. These are coins that are actually being used, are going to be used, are being utilized, are being integrated into world systems. So the long-term outlook for these look very, very good. A lot of the other coins, you realize I don't mention, I'm still okay with a couple of other coins. Keep in mind, I think I need to clarify this. A lot of people think, I'm going to put it to you straight right now, just so everyone gets this, new and old. The people who've been here before, you all know this, I've mentioned this before, but just to let everyone kind of know exactly what's going on. Bitcoin right now is the name of the game. The only other coins, disagree with me if you want, please, by all means, I love to hear the disagreements. The only other coins that are looking very solid right now are Ethereum and XRP. Why? Because XRP has around 200 plus partnerships, and Ether, take a second, take out your phone and look up the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance. These are all the companies who are going to be using and have said that they're going to be using and developing Ether. Every other coin right now, I hold many altcoins. Altcoins are awesome. Altcoins are amazing. I don't plan myself on holding altcoins forever. When I buy into altcoins, it is speculative. Everything in this market is hyper speculative. Cardano included. Every other coin, I hold them because I expect them to go up in the future. But at some point in the future, I'm holding these coins because I plan on selling them off because I don't plan on selling my Bitcoin. Just wanted to make that absolutely clear. A lot of the altcoins that I hold, and I mentioned this before with Ken. Ken is not a, oh my gosh, let's hold this coin forever coin. It is a, oh wow, it looks like I can make a lot of money from this when the market starts going back up and when that cryptocurrency is actually being used. And then I can sell it off to make massive profits, just to keep all of that, because people have been asking me like what I think about this coin, what I think about so-and-so. I love when we say go. I love Cardano. I don't have any Tron. The other coins I've mentioned before, there's like 13 or 14 of them. They're cool. They're awesome. They're amazing. At some point, these coins are going to be sold off so that I can buy other assets, probably other property around the world. Just to keep that entirely clear. Bitcoin, XRP, and Ether, in my humble opinion, as I am just a man, will be in my portfolio for a very long time because I see these outperforming many other cryptocurrencies. And until we get news otherwise, this is how my stance is going to kind of be. But it is widely believed that a lot of other altcoins, and I mean like number 50 lower, are going to continue to be decimated as no one's using them. A lot of this has been hype. A lot of this is you ever seen a balloon and like it's like running out of air and like it's flying into the sky, but you hear that like that sound as it's like slowly falling. This is what's happening to all these other altcoins. They're slowly deflating and all that money is finally pushing away because for those who weren't here during the ICO revolution of 2017, we had hundreds of coins being made and how awesome and how cool and how amazing, and my coin is faster than yours. I showed some of them on older videos, not promoting them, but showing them as far as like there were so many websites, they were like, yeah, we're 10 times faster than Bitcoin and we're going to have 10 times as many users and we're awesome and we're amazing. And I was like, well, no, that's probably not going to happen. That people would fight me every day in the comment section talking about, I don't know what I'm talking about. Dude, your information's all wrong. And then like 3 months later when that coin is gone, these people stopped fighting me and they started talking about another coin. My friend, I'm sure he's not listening. Hello to you, sir, out there. Regardless, my friend, remember I told you guys before I had a friend who got into the cryptocurrency space about 2.5 years ago, give or take. He's been very adamant about the cryptocurrency space. He knows exactly which coins are going to make it. He is not a permabull on Bitcoin, but he understands the importance of the Bitcoin name. He has a cousin. Remember this guy's cousin? He told his cousin in 2017, he was like, dude, focus on Bitcoin, focus on Ether, focus on XRP, and his cousin was buying all these other crazy altcoins, which ended up going not even to zero, like -0. If you've never seen like the minus Satoshi price on certain cryptocurrencies, you're in luck because it looks ridiculous. It's like -2.8 MG4. Like it's this really weird code thing that they show when the coin's value has been completely decimated in comparison to the Satoshi price. My friend told me a couple days ago, he was telling his cousin, he was like, hey, dude, have you seen the prices going back up for cryptocurrencies? And the guy was like, yeah, man, I saw it going up. He's like, yeah, so I've been buying all these coins. And he's like, oh, did you finally buy some Bitcoin, some Ether, and some XRP, and maybe some Cardano? And his cousin was like, no, but I bought, this coin called like Floppy Dop. And he was like, what is that? His cousin said, I don't even touch coins in the top 100. That's crazy to me. That is probably, but there are tons of people like that, and I try to make sure that everyone understands we are going through once again. People predicted these things years ago, and I don't even think they were predictions anymore. I think it was just logical thinking that as time goes on, the useless coins will completely disappear, like other useless companies. They also kind of disappear as time ends up going on, and this is where we end up paying more attention to the larger things in the space. So I once again implore people to look at their portfolio to decide if some of the coins that they are holding are right long-term for their portfolio. If you're in this for the short term and you plan on getting out when Bitcoin hits 20,000, good for you. I tip my digital hat in your direction. But for those of you who are here for the long term, really look at your portfolio. I've had to reassess a couple of things as well. I don't think Bitcoin is going to perish anytime soon. Bitcoin is probably going to continue moving up, just logical thinking, as are many of the top other coins. So please pay attention to where you have your money, because a lot of people are going to be very disappointed when Bitcoin goes up to 30 and 40,000 and their altcoins have not moved the way that they thought they were going to move. But yeah, my goodness, out of breath. Let's move on. Ethereum developer Prismatic Labs just released a new update on the scaling solution known as Ethereum 2.0. The upgrade is designed to dramatically increase the network's efficiency and the number of transactions it can handle per second. Wonderful. This is great. We're finally getting more updates. People were asking before, a couple of days ago, why was the price of Ethereum going up? This is why, because we're finally getting information. It took 2 years, 3 years for the updates on the network to finally be finalized and to be spoken about and to be put onto a testnet. We know that Ethereum 2.0 is happening, that it's going to happen. And by this time next year, we should have an Ethereum that has not only proof of stake, but potentially is able to do at least 5,000 transactions per second. I don't even dare say 100,000 or a million transactions per second. It will take time. And Ethereum at even 500 transactions per second would be better. However, yeah, that's the news. Let's move on. Next up, crypto exchange Gemini is opening a Chicago office as part of a fresh push into the nascent institutional market. The exchange announced on Thursday that it was hiring 5 employees as part of the effort. An individual familiar with the situation told CoinDesk that the team was recruited from a group of former Coinbase engineers, whom the rival crypto exchange laid off in April when it shuttered its own Chicago-based institutional-focused engineering. Oh, I forgot about that, yeah. The new Gemini employees will be focused on supporting the exchange's primary products, including its professional trading platform and custody solution. It's cool. The Winklevoss I find very perplexing. If you've ever watched the Winklevoss twins in a during an interview, what they talk about and how they carry themselves, you would think that they are masters of Bitcoin, that they are like the owners of Binance. It's a very weird energy that they have amongst themselves. But the Gemini exchange, I don't even think it's in the top 5 crypto exchanges in the entire world. They've taken a very lax back side of the space, behind the scenes, back burner kind of role in the active development of the cryptocurrency market space exchange. You know exactly what I'm talking about. It's very weird. They've apparently now hired 5 people from Coinbase. Cool. Awesome. We never really hear about Gemini that often, and when we do, it's usually them on a panel talking about regulation. This is all they talk about is regulation. Other companies and stuff like that, they talk about more decentralized products. They talk about like adding this. They talk about doing so-and-so. They talk about integration with this, and they talk about launching a decentralized exchange. The Gemini twins only talk about regulation, which I mean will probably cause them to fare well in the future, but it's just next up. There we go. India crypto exchange known as CoinEx has ceased operations effective immediately. Co-founder Rahul Raj confirmed in a blog post on the 27th of June. Raj said multiple delays by government agencies in clarifying crypto regulations have played a factor in the decision to close. This month's proposal to introduce a 10-year jail sentence for Indian citizens who use cryptocurrencies has also contributed to a sharp decline in trading volumes. For those who don't know, earlier this year, there was a proposal by the Indian government that anyone touching cryptocurrencies would receive a 10-year jail sentence. According to Raj, CoinEx had experienced regular disruption, including denials when attempting to use payment services. He also alleges this disruption, my goodness, extended to non-crypto transactions as well, with exchange employees asked questions by banks whenever they received their salary or attempted to pay their rent. Warning that it was no longer economically feasible to service customers, Raj added. The final decision has been taken after duly considering all the latest developments in the crypto and blockchain industry. Unfortunately, we're not too hopeful that things will change for the better in the near future. It's kind of sad. I don't think India is going to release crypto anything, or rather regulations, anytime soon. I think they're still trying to figure out exactly what they plan on trying to do within the cryptocurrency space. But I think this is one of the very last exchanges that is kind of out there. There aren't many, and they're closing one by one because the government has still taken about 2 years, not a joking 2 years, an actual 2-year period to give even basic crypto regulation. But yeah. To kind of finish things off, the Singapore-based crypto exchange known as Pixgo, P-I-E-X-Go, I don't know if it's Pixgo, PyXGo says it is listing Bitcoin. Litecoin, wow. Litecoin, the exchange, has not announced which LTC coins will be paired with. PyXGo will list LTC on the 20th of June. Oh, that's today. As a strong supporter of the Litecoin community, PyXGo will donate some part of the Litecoin trading fee during the first 2 weeks from the listing date. I like talking about when major coins get listed on other platforms. This is also in Singapore. Singapore is believed, or rather people believe, that Singapore could be a major player in the cryptocurrency space, as well as there are a number of people within Singapore who are minted, who have a lot of money, and therefore this could be a good foray for the cryptocurrency space. As always, there we go. As always, very large thank you to my Patreon supporters. Kyle Chassé, Auspicious Agile and Blockchain, Professor Wally from Gunbite University, My Keto Kitchen, Adobo, Crypto and Beer Shipmate, Brady Niels, L. Doug, Jared Schneider, Wise Night Owl, Crypto Joe, Mohair Maroney, Carl Birchenoff, singer-songwriter Mike Savitz, Rai Rai, Yasha Harari, Amy Starsheen, Jeffrey Ramsey, Clara T. Snowden, Crypto Artist, Cole D, 3D, Nicholas Renault, One Piece, One Love, Setsuna, Nick Kanaya, Richie Rich, The Third, RF Dusty, Cody, Vlad the Impaler, Paxis, Tom Sucks at Basketball, and Sam Skips Leg Day, Jeremy the Photographer, Jim Gardner, Minting Coins, Arthur Yaku, Nick Mangialavori, Anthony Charles, and Nick. Thank you all very much for your support. At the moment, the market is in a very weird type of recovery period. Yesterday, I believe that Bitcoin dropped down to $10,600, somewhere around those lines, if I'm not mistaken, depending on where you looked at your cryptocurrency prices. It is currently at $11,552, up around $900, give or take. Oh, there, hit the window with my hand. So it appears the market is trying to do a little recovery. You can see on certain coins, they're definitely pushing up in the actual graph. They're still in the red, at least on the 24-hour changes to the cryptocurrencies. A lot of them are also, surprisingly, also in the green Satoshi-wise. It appears that maybe people have been flustered and are selling off, or were selling off some of their Bitcoin to be able to gobble up some of the altcoins, as normally when the altcoins go down, they go back up, you know, just how things work. And people were maybe trying to get some gains from the altcoins that are out there. Not many coins in the green. Not many at all. I assume this will change over the next, I want to say 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours. We should probably, because they're all doing this little green slight uptick. So we can definitely see some green over the next couple of hours. We're getting a lot of calls for a movement to a $14,000 Bitcoin. We'll see. I'm not too optimistic about this weekend. I think we may need to take a breather for a little bit. But as we move further and eventually get to July, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that is Monday. That's insane how quickly this year is moving. Think of how many months have already passed. It's almost July. By the time we get to July, I'm expecting a bit more of a increased uptick in people buying cryptocurrencies, especially Bitcoin, because Backed is launching on the 22nd of July. So that's going to light a fire under the entire cryptocurrency industry. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope that you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever in this crazy world you might be. I really do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and listening. You're all amazing. You're all incredible. I hope that you're all one day incredibly rich. Thank you all once again for watching and listening, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.